Like, I just don't want to hear that with your broke ass. Like, I'm not trying to.
But I'm gonna tell you,
That's
doing
real.
well.
you know,
You're now tuned in.
You're now tuned in.
you are now tuned in
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in
to the Juxtaposition Podcast. What's going on? Welcome to episode 11 of the Juxtaposition Podcast, aka the Extraordinary Nobodies, aka the Starting Five, aka Four Husbands and VAR, aka the Five Heartbeats,
That's right.
aka the Temptations. Yeah, Four Hubbies and Impossible. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Moneybag. Thank you, Moneybag, yo, and welcome back.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the podcast. First, I want to check in with my guys. I'm here with Zoe,
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
KV,
What it do?
Cleveland,
What's going on?
and James.
What it do, baby?
So I'm going to start. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, but the PSA / question of the week. Now, this is a question I don't know if I've ever heard anybody else ask other people. So just you might pause for a second. The question of the week is, how often do you check your bank account?
Daily.
Yeah.
Well,
You said
not my
daily?
personal. Yeah, my. I mean, I have to check because I feel like recently weird stuff been happening. Like over the last year, it'd be like some fraud. There's scammers is out there.
Yeah,
I've experienced
that's a
it a handful of times. James know. I'm like, yo, how did like somebody try to get me for like $5,000, like some ridiculous,
Yeah.
or like 3.9? They wrote like 7 checks for $3.99 or something like that. Like, so I checked just
Sheesh.
to make sure nothing irregular. Like,
Damn, that's $12.
no, not $3.99 in dollars. 300. They tried to bang me, yo, like something disrespectful.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Zoe ain't paying the $5.
Nope, not at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I check mine like that on just to like. I don't really be. I mean, most of my stuff is auto pay or whatever. So I already know what's in there. But just to make sure it don't look a little irregular, like, wait a minute, hold up.
Talking about me. Zoe over here talking about he got all his bills on auto pay. That's how you know you made it.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
that is a
When you can
rich
set up
man
auto
thing.
pay.
That's a fact.
You
That's
know, she's
trust.
like, word up.
That's trust. I know
You don't gotta worry
for
about-
sure that nothing else. Like, it's cool. They double charged me this time. No biggie. I'll just call
I'll figure it out.
customer service.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll figure it out later on. No worries.
Terrible. Hey, you gotta get that discount. They always give a little discount for auto pay. I'll be focused
true,
on
though.
that.
Mhm.
It'd be like $5 for 6
Hey.
months.
That's
It
the
is.
5, baby.
I check my account only if I feel like I need to make a large purchase.
Mhm.
But I don't mean
It's
purchase
like an island.
yeah, I don't mean like a purchase like because we had to do this whole apartment thing, so we had to do the whole like security deposit and all that nonsense.
Mhm.
So you just kind of have to look at the account to kind of see where it's gonna go. But besides that, unless that's like I see a problem with my debit card or something like that, I get an email.
Mhm.
I don't really look at it.
I mean, but how often you check the black card statements?
I wish, yo, and that's like the goal, dog. Like
You gonna
I
hit
want
it?
that
Though?
black card.
He acting like he don't already got it.
I mean,
Modest on the show.
I love the modesty.
I don't got no black card, but
Yeah, it
I
was
got a
revoked.
card. Okay.
Oh,
Hey, good brother, we gotta bring it back to the previous episode because I'm Team Darkskin now. Black card revoked over here.
Well, then when he got a 10.
Fit right in the Passaic.
Mhm.
Man, I check. I feel like I don't check that often. Like I feel like I check.
Got some big spenders over here.
No,
Nah, he
no.
probably like, I don't want to get disappointed.
No. You know what it is? Like we started like this what do you want to call it? Budget. So like when I get paid, I got a certain amount that goes into my discretionary fund.
Mhm.
Just stays in house bills. So like I know like I do check when I get paid just to make sure like the right amount got direct deposited. Like that's like one of my biggest fears. Like wake up one day and it's like my direct deposit's like $50 or something. Like what is going on?
Bro,
But I make sure my money is right, and then I just transfer whatever I'm going to spend into my personal joint, and the rest stays in the house account.
Yo, when I've been starting. Well, I started to watch that Moesha.
Oh yeah,
show
yeah.
on Netflix.
Hold on. That
Talk about-
Moesha.
See, that's why that black card getting revoked.
I didn't realize I started to watch Moesha.
There you go.
Okay. Hold on, y'all see this? Y'all see this?
He looked dark skin when he did that, didn't he?
You know what I mean? Nah, I was saying that because they had put each other on a budget, and she started giving the dad an allowance. That's it. That's all I heard when Cleveland said my discretionary fund. He got his allowance.
Yeah, you saw how I put that.
Yeah.
This is the money that I can spend between checks.
Yep. Your digital permission slip.
Right.
I get it, bro.
She gave me $20 every 2 weeks. I'm like, damn.
Make it stretch. And I dare you to ask me for another $1. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh man.
How about you, KV?
We got a discretionary fund in our arrangement. But at least once a day I check the account, just because got different accounts too, so I have to like make sure. And it's interesting because I have business account, personal account, family account. So for me, it's more or less like when I'm about to spend on something, I figure out where I'm going to take that money out from. So at least once a day, at least once. Sometimes in the morning when I wake up, it's the first thing, but most of the time it's right before I'm about to go spend some money to see where can I like move the budget around from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm on a daily too. It's just a reminder of how far I am from James every day. So I got to kind of keep myself.
Yeah. It's a reminder of all that money you got in the Silicon Valley area.
Right.
Twisted,
right.
bro. You out here in Silicon Valley tech.
Nigga trying to reflect, right?
Yeah,
Nigga trying to reflect.
Trying to put it on me, but nah, brother. You out there.
The area,
living it.
The area is wealthy. I, however, am
so
not.
you just come on, nigga. It's like saying you live in Silicon, so I know you rent high. I know that shit dumb high.
Right.
Yeah. Don't act like you live on Prospect, bro. That's
right.
like,
Word up.
Sometimes.
All right. So what's the best thing y'all seen this week?
Bar out here. Like, look at this kind of like, damn, I can't fall, boy. I'm doing good.
Bar, like,
oh man.
He's crazy as hell.
Prospect was the bottom of the hill. I ain't gonna hold you. Lord.
That was a learning experience. That's what that was.
It was the first step. You know what I mean? Sometimes the first step got a hole in it. You know what I mean? You gotta,
right.
That was bringing your bank
the
statements
hill-
to you, Bar.
Oh, what?
That's
Man.
it. Just getting that mail for you. Bring your statements over. Like, hey, I see how much money you got. So let me hold 5.
Yo, I used to get them unemployment
1,000.
checks, and it was so light. I thought the paper was lighter when you ain't got nothing on it. It's like, here your $50 check. Like, man, how you know? To put it to the air and shit. Man.
Terrible.
I think back in those days, I did not check my bank account. Like, I was like, nah, I'm gonna just pray.
Who, like, yo, it's one of those, like, why make myself mad? Like, why I'm gonna do that to myself? I'm having a good day.
Right. I would want to mention, like, realistically, I don't really check the account. What we do have is an app called YNAB. I'm not sure if y'all ever heard of it. It's called YNAB. It's an acronym for you need a budget. And so basically, like, you pretty much allocate all your categories of all where you would expense your money at, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I make a decision about where I'm going to spend my money. Realistically, I look to see, like, okay, what category can I pull money from?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the money sits in the account, but we got shopping, groceries, stuff I forgot to budget, like just a bunch of categories of stuff. So if I'm about to go buy some, you know what I mean? I mean, don't not get it twisted. I was never this person. I mean, my wife kind of converted me. And I pretty much like now look into the app, because the app pretty much tells you how much you have in each category. So before I go to I just pull out of that. So I do check the account once every week just to make sure, I'm not tripping about certain things. But
now that makes sense. You brought up a good point, Kev. You talk about I've come a long way. You have come a long way, because man, if it was anybody who I felt like it was like Kev was just like, fuck, we're gonna figure it out. That was it was Kevin. Fuck, we gonna figure it out. V.
Yeah.
And we figured it out. All right, but going into how y'all weeks were, I'm going to start with James. I feel like he probably had the most eventful week out of all of us. So, Moneybag Yo, take it away.
You heard that rich laugh?
Yeah.
That's how rich people laugh.
That nigga just laughed off.
Just
Clark
2 stabs.
County,
Fresh off the PJ.
Week was good, man. Just got back from Mexico.
Look, you saw him dust the sand off his shoulder when he said that. Right?
Vacation.
It was like, yeah, the Mexico.
No, it was good. It was a good vacation. We did it. I mean, it's Mexico. I mean, Cancun is kind of just like a quick trip to get to. It's easy to get to. Nothing too difficult. Want to kind of stay safe during COVID because that still is a serious matter. And
right.
I think traveling, they're definitely stepping it up with their precautions and their safety measures. So we definitely felt extremely safe. But it was definitely a good time. Spent some quality time with the wife. With everything going on and the time we've been working and doing all that stuff, we got some good time out there, and we definitely know how to party when we get together.
I was going to say, I really admire that about you and your wife. Like, y'all really like have fun. Y'all let loose. Honestly, I think that's something to like aspire to do because you're around your partner all day, all the time. Mm-hmm. It kind of gets a little hard the more you're with them to just like let your hair down. It seems like kind of productive, but like I really admire how y'all just go for it for real.
Yeah, man. We I know we floating out there on somebody's internet, man. We fell asleep in the lobby for like a good 10 minutes. It was early too. It was like 10 o'clock and we was gone in that lobby. I like hopped up like I don't think I was supposed to be asleep right now. Like yo, wake
That's
up.
That nervous wake up.
Yeah.
She put James on IG, so you want to see a dead body.
Yo, bro, I almost flipped out, bro. I'm like, really? Like that's how you're gonna do?
It gave me a good chuckle.
I was tired, but now that was good, and I officially accepted my my full-time return offer with the company I interned with.
Brother.
So that's now officially official. So excited for that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm happy to hear that, especially with so you are going to be projected to start next year, right? So 2021.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Like summer.
It's summer, yeah, just like your typical internship, and then you start the following year.
Okay, all right. Also, Cleveland, I know you had a pretty eventful weekend or week as well.
Yeah, it was dope. So last week was my wife's birthday. So I spent the weekend. Well, first of all, I started my vacation from work on her birthday so that we can just have uninterrupted time together. My daughter is in Jersey right now with her grandparents. So it's just us two.
Quality time.
Time.
So in essence, we getting in your way by recording this podcast.
Hey, man.
I'll be right back, babe. Let me go chill with the fellas for a second. I'll be right back. You stay right there.
I just asked this episode, but like it was a good time, man. I took her out to dinner at a nice restaurant, which we honestly, since the wedding, we haven't really had that time together. So that was dope to just have that time together. We had like a little party at one of our friends' house in our backyard. You know what I mean? Only like 10 people, but it was still cool. And it's just been a good time, man. Just enjoying each other's company and having a lot of fun and celebrating her birthday. So it was a nice week.
Dope. Did you do anything special on top of the shindig at the crib?
Yeah, man. So the dinner was like the nicest thing we did, and I got her a new necklace.
The wealth of this podcast. I'm astonished.
Listen, I'm trying to treat her like we still dating. So I got her a new necklace because she lost a necklace that she had for a while. And she can't even remember like how she lost it. She was just like adjusting it, and then something happened, and she lost her attention, and then just couldn't find it the next second. So I got her a new necklace. We went to that dinner, and that was like the best thing that we did over the weekend. The nicest thing that we did over the weekend, I said.
It's fire, man. Happy belated to the wifey.
Thanks. I'll let it belated.
KV, how was your week?
This week was kind of solid, man. Can't lie. I had first of all, remember I told y'all at the beginning of this month I was starting a new challenge.
Yes.
And things kind of been coming to fruition. I launched another business, but we're, we're still in beta version, so I'm not really going to talk about it yet. It's more in-house, and we're working with a small cohort right now to set the standard for the next go round. So that's kind of been coming into place. So excited about that. You know, PayPal
Congrats on starting.
Congrats
on starting, bro.
Shout out, appreciate it. And also Saturday we hosted a wellness workshop with St. Rose College in New York. That went pretty good. We felt like it went pretty good, but we'll wait till the feedback starts to roll in with the survey to understand what they felt about it. And just been building, man. Just been building with small folks in the Baltimore area. Been reconnecting with a lot of my old teammates, you know, and a lot of them doing some cool things. And I find myself working on their projects a little bit and working out heavy with them folks, and just kind of like moving and shaking low key. But it's been good, man. This week was probably positive. And what else I got? That's pretty much it. I mean, between those two things,
it's a fire week. It's a fire week.
Yeah. Sounds like a busy week.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. So, lastly, I actually submitted my research proposal to my advisor. You know, I'm working with the NCAA on injury surveillance.
Oh yeah.
I'm covering women's softball right now, and so I've been given an advisor. So we kind of like talking about how to complete hopefully I'll get published by the end of this year. So that'll be a thing.
Ooh, that's dope, bro.
That's what's up. That is amazing.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
That's
dope.
Thanks.
And
talk about inspirations, fire, bro.
Yeah,
that's man.
Dope.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. So feeling good, man. This month was what I kind of felt my spirit was going to be, but I knew in order to kind of receive those things, I had to like cut back on something else. And whatever I like to do, which if y'all know me, I like whatever I'm into. I had to put that to the shelf for a second just so I can kind of be in the present, be in the moment, and just kind of like lock in. So
that's dope.
Things been kind of flowing. And can't complain at all right now. Just trying to like stay engaged realistically.
That's so good to hear, man. I think you know, our 30s have been good to us thus far, man. I can honestly say that we are all living in our purpose. Speaking to that, Zoe has you got your merch on, don't you, Zoe?
Yeah, a little something for the company, you know.
Little coat of arms, little party per Gale Ghouls.
You know, that's right. Yeah, something light. That's why, you know, that's what inspired the logo. Let's just say that. Kaba definitely inspired my logo for the company.
So. How was your week, Zoe?
It was pretty good. It started off a little funny. I had an opportunity, which I'm still.
Who tried to scam you? Whenever somebody has an opportunity, it's either an email or a timeshare. Right?
Nah, somebody called me. They needed some workers. They told me like 8 to 10, which, you know, 8 to 10 workers at whatever price, you know, at minimum is an extra $1,000 a week for my pockets. Like, you know, that's after paying people. So I'm like, let's get it. I'm hyped. I need that. I'm trying to move, right? And then I forgot the one thing that is always an issue is that the idea doesn't work without people, and I don't really like people. So like, because like I can't trust them. Like these are the people call me asking for work and then they don't show up. Like I literally had like 3 guys show up when I sent 8 people somewhere. But where the thing that got better, the guy was like, "Don't worry, it's part of the business. I already understand. Like, trust me. You know, people act like you doing them a favor, like they doing you a favor by showing up, whatever." So he worked with me, and now I got like 13 guys when I only really needed like 8, 8 to 10. So that's something that will be, if they work hard, which they so far so good, they could rock out to the end of the year, which is pretty decent. And then like what you're trying to do is form a team to go from different project to project. So that was good, despite the little hurdle I had to climb. Also, I went and visited the youngins. Shout out to Ada Delta and Rosie. They had a chapter retreat.
Yeah. Never sounds right.
I know.
Shout out to those guys though.
Yeah, I went to the chapter retreat. So I had to do what I do best, which is um
Talk shit.
dictate. Yeah, of course, but I usually talk shit after I give examples. So it's like, all right, he did do this before. Like, I wasn't born 30, 34, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I try to explain that to them. But you know, internally I felt like, yo, maybe they weren't close, or if there was any rifts. So you know what I did? I showed up to the retreat. I brought 2 sets of boxing gloves and was like, yo, if y'all got beef, like, let's
Working
get it
out.
out now. Like, what's up? Like, this is how we get down. Like, we gonna fight, you gonna fight, but you know what I mean, you gonna shake, and that's your brother, and you call it a day, and then we go have drinks afterwards. So
Your Dukes,
nobody,
Craig.
yeah,
That's how you know you a real man.
let's hold them up. So nobody took that challenge, thank God, for each other. Yeah.
Kev was waiting in the wings, like I hope
Word up. Like,
who
ooh,
got
his little
knocked out.
juicy story. Ooh.
Yeah, nah, nobody decided that. Like, I guess they figured, well, you know what, maybe we could talk about it. Like, so it was cool though. Like I said, I think they needed just to hear, because sometimes they hear from the same group of guys.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
for me to come, they were like actually excited. I was happy. And then afterwards, I went to a smokehouse at 1911 over in Trenton.
Yeah.
So
Shout
any
out.
who saw my post, where
Yeah,
their tag.
nobody can beat their meat.
Yeah, that tagline was crazy. I was like, when you start sipping, you start looking around, look at the cup, like, wait, what this shit say? I'm like, oh, he
I mean,
wild.
but can they?
I don't know. I plead the fifth on that one, but I will tell you this: I did something daring, right? So after myself and Avery, and then Woody met us there. So shout out to Woodrow. I haven't seen him in a while, so it was good to see Woody. Um, but yo, I did something daring that most Black people don't do. Right?
Okay, talk to us.
I tried some different potato salad. Like, we don't just go
Oh,
nowhere trying.
What was it?
So when I was
he's
at
talking
Smoke,
about potato salad.
nah, yo, that's big, yo. That's like I
You
mean,
don't eat
that's like
just
almost a
anybody's potato
staple in
salad.
Black
You know,
community.
that's
Like,
a,
you got to know
Nah,
who
man,
made
I
this.
got you.
Yeah. So
Thought you meant like going to Walmart after 11 p.m. or
Yeah,
something.
like this about to be some like what's going on?
I stopped doing that when I went up north. When I moved up north, like, nah. But so Smokehouse actually has some really good potato salad. I tried it. I was
awesome.
questioning, like, you know what? Because restaurants, when they make stuff in large quantities, is never like most
Yeah.
of the time collard greens, all that type of stuff. They like half ass. It's not like family like it's supposed to be. They don't put the seasoning right. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it
But
was
you
actually
got to
pretty good.
think about it. You got to think about it. Smokehouse is like one of those places that like run out of stuff. Like when it's out, it's out.
It's done.
So
Yeah.
I'll be feeling like places like that when they don't, if they ever run out, then that means that it should be all right. Because they look, I made what I made, and this is
That's
it.
some Black people restaurant. Like, we ain't got no more. Like,
Like you were
I hate that.
called Kennedy Fried Chicken. How
No
don't you
more,
have
no more.
chicken? It's like 9 p.m. They close at 12. We ain't got no more.
yeah, seriously. So, but that was like my week in a nutshell. Like, it just got busier throughout the last couple of days, but busy in a good way. So I just been trying to stay afloat.
So my week was interesting. So I'll start with this. I'll start with Friday. Friday, the pod dropped. Got a lot of feedback, a lot of gratitude for the episode. I think people really enjoyed hearing from us about how we felt about them. So also shout out to everybody who is listening for the first time from that episode. And also shout out to the people who we did highlight. Also, I had a really good response to my shirt drop on Friday as well.
Dope.
So still on sale. Still got a few more of those left.
Claim mine.
Yeah,
I got mine too.
I claim mine like he's a what is it? Unclaimed diamonds.
I claim mine.
But it's been like a little wonky here. Like we got wildfires going on. Like I woke up this morning to like the smell of fire. Like
That's crazy.
when you live in California, it's like you can smell how faint or how far it is by like how potent the smell is.
Mhm.
But yeah, that went down. What else happened this week? I don't know, just regular work stuff. It's just been hot here. Like out here in the Bay, it don't get Jersey hot.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
this week has been like Jersey hot. Like I'm thinking and I'm sweating. Like, this is
You know, my first time being in the Bay was for your graduation, and I learned the hard way. Like,
Cold as
shit.
hell.
Oh yes,
Kev came out with the
shorts.
LeBron.
Shorts.
The LeBron
On
suit,
God.
the
Hell out
LeBron
there.
short suit.
Yo, as
Oh
if I
God, I
didn't.
was freezing, bro.
You and my dad. Was like my dad had a whole sweater and
Struggling.
slacks, and he was trying to rush me like, yo, my man, I graduated from grad school once.
Yeah.
Relax. He's like, I'm just cold.
I can't blame him, man.
Yo, Kev had to do the mind over matter while standing in line. Like I ain't
But I
cold.
went 100. I was
Now, that's a
freezing,
fact.
bro.
And that was
mid-May.
May. Yeah, that
That's
was May.
crazy.
So I think even back home on the East, it was pretty warm, but here it was like 60. It was
And windy. Oh
and,
God.
I mean, yeah, that's what it'd be like. So imagine now where it's like the opposite.
Right.
But yeah, so my week was pretty average. Still happy to be employed, so happy to be alive, so happy to be healthy. Did purchase plane tickets to go home in September, so I will be touching earth in New Jersey, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, hold on, one more thing. Let me add one more thing about how my week was. I listened to the last episode, and like I don't know if it's my microphone, but I hate my laugh on. I hate the way I laugh on the microphone.
When I listen to my laugh, I'm like, yo, my laugh
I
is
feel like
trash.
it need like lubrication. It just sounds like dusty.
Dusty laugh.
Just like I gotta do better. So if I'm not laughing this week, it's because I'm self-conscious. Anyway, go ahead, Zoe.
Anyway, so
I need some milk.
He needs some milk. So Zoe knows, right? Here we go. So first on the list, the NBA playoffs. For those who like basketball,
I mean, we
and
can fast forward
sports.
through this if you want to, because
I know you're a little
up to
tight
you.
right now after last night, but so pretty much what was crazy is Donovan Mitchell drops 57, and they lose, which hadn't been done since Jordan dropped 63 in like 86, and they lost to Boston. But tonight they actually got their retaliation. They won. Dame Lillard is shooting from the parking lot.
Right.
Something crazy.
Yo, he hit another one of them shots. I'm finding him. We fighting.
Yeah.
Can't hit them shots on the Lakers anymore. We got to stop that.
Listen, man, this dude is you know what it is? Like Barkley said, they on a roll. So right now they striking while the match is hot. So it's like,
nah, man, burn that fuse out.
Yeah, to all the Lakers and LeBron lovers like James and Var, I feel bad.
I hate to bust your bubbles, man, but Damian been that dude since last year.
Nah, for sure.
Last year since he knocked Houston out, like rookie.
and then you gotta think they add Melo to the mix, and no offense, but Melo is cooking.
He's still mellow.
He playing defense.
He's in good shape this season.
Yes, he dropped some weight. So
shout out Lakers still gonna win, but it's cool though.
Yeah, they might, but it's good to see Melo too, like get his, because the way they try to do him dirty. So to see that.
My girl said that since the Warriors is not in the playoffs, she said because Dame from Oakland, it's like the Oakland Trailblazers. Like everybody out here is now going for Portland. Yeah,
he got the whole.
He get wild love out here. I mean, as he should. Like
hometown. So
in front of Oracle, they had this bit. He do the Hulu has live sports joint. They had this was last year the playoffs. They had the billboard of Dame with the Hulu has live sports in front of the Oracle Arena where the Warriors play. I was like, that was dope.
That's crazy.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Word. So
yo, real quick though, and sidebar to if Hulu give us a sponsor if you listen out there.
Oh yeah, Hulu.
We'll take it.
I just got Hulu that has live sports. I cut the cord, cut the cable.
Yeah,
and subscribe to Hulu joint, and that joint's pretty good. So I recommend it.
I'm a YouTube TV man myself. It's treating us pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. YouTube TV is too expensive. See what I mean? Var got the money.
See?
I walked into that one. I walked right on into that one.
You set yourself up. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the NBA playoffs is back. We had 2 8th seed beat 2 number 1 seeds.
So I said we can move on.
Nah, I gotta throw the salt. Listen, my Knicks is trash, so I'm hurting on all y'all. Like I'm firing off. Okay. Anyway, but this is something in addition to basketball. So. The Hornets broadcast, I don't know if y'all heard about that. John Folke, I guess, tweeted in the midst, like during the game against Denver and Utah, he tweeted, "Oh, such and such the game. You know, it was a good shootout with the Utah Jazz and the Denver Niggers." Like,
What?
No,
Yeah,
no.
he
yeah.
tweet it was by accident, he says. And so there's been all over ESPN, and people like Shannon Sharp like, yo, wait a minute. In order for the phone to autocorrect, that means you had me typing
Yes,
that, like,
Exactly.
that's what I'm thinking. That's
Exactly.
what I'm
like, how the phone
thinking.
know you gonna say that? And he did it on TV, like, let me type it in. He was like, skip. It don't say,
Yo,
mine don't come
and
up
you
with that option. Like,
and you know how many times you have to. How many times have y'all ever tried to type "fuck you" and it says "duck you"? It's like
Yeah,
yes,
after
yeah.
been
I
trying
just
to.
don't want to put it.
yes, or shit, you
Cleveland's
put
looking
shot.
like I've never texted that in my life.
Yeah, like, yo, you full of shot.
That
Like,
I can recall. That
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
recall.
you full of shot is facts.
like, really?
Like
Like, why does this
they
happen?
be trying to get you away from the cursing and man.
So
Go
I
ahead.
Wait,
don't
they
know.
said they only suspended him indefinitely, right? I mean,
Jordan's
like,
in
what is
control
it?
of that.
But
You
yeah,
gonna let him
so
go?
They got to.
so you think they're gonna let him go, or you think that he
Well,
gonna
in
Yeah.
this
like
day
be able
and
to come
age,
back?
yes.
They're probably gonna
Huh?
investigate, but Jordan probably gonna let him go because I mean, isn't what else can you do, bro? There's no real justification as to how I don't believe the autocorrect. I mean, it probably did autocorrect, but like the fact
But
that it's in your phone.
95% of people read their tweets before whatever they're putting out. They read it before they hit post,
You
especially if you're on
should.
that type of platform,
Correct.
Exactly.
right? You're reading. You don't even want a grammar mistake.
Yeah, because
Time
they'll
out.
kill you.
Exactly.
Words
Yeah.
in the
One thing
words
I
of
haven't
Gabe,
heard.
that's egregious.
One thing I haven't. Yeah, for sure. One thing I haven't heard people mention is, was he under the influence when he was doing a tweet?
Ooh.
Because if he that's a possibility. I mean, I don't think he intentionally put it out there, but he was definitely probably either drunk or kind of
Watching the
pull it.
game, drinking a
He's
little
at
bit
the
of
house
whiskey.
probably.
You know. And then now the fact that he sent it does makes it apparent to understand. Does he say this all the time? Does he text this all the
Hmm
time?
Has
Because
to.
Yes.
clearly that's a
Yes.
conversation.
He
He has
But
to.
if
I
he was
definitely
did
been
my
dropping
own
the
little
N word.
test. I did
he
my
was
own
And
little
he's
definitely
test. I was typing in nuggets. I was typing in nig. I typed in niggets. Yo,
It doesn't go
nah.
through, right?
one time. It didn't come up one time. So I'm like, yo, in order for that to happen, he's been texting that or typing it to someone. So his phone just thought like, oh, N-U-G. Nah, it's supposed to be N-I-G-G. That's what he want to say.
but he put the ER, not even he put
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
yeah.
saying. Like, yo, nah, that's not no mistake. Like,
It's hella close together though. The N, the I
yo,
is hella
that's it.
close.
It's
Nah,
right
Like
Kev,
there. Look
nah,
at what
Kev.
I'm
I can't
trying
let you get this one. I can't let you get this one, Kev. He is dead wrong.
to say.
he
so
says.
y'all saying that he intended to do that?
I'm not saying he
No, no,
No,
no,
intended
no.
to send it. I'm saying that he's used that word before, and it
several
just came
times.
back to bite him in this regard. Because like if you type it in, if you don't type that, your autocorrect is not just gonna automatically type in NI.
Don't he wish that he could renege that tweet?
Oh hell no!
Terrible, yo.
What?
Please add
Terrible.
that in there.
Oh,
Please add
that
the
was
sound
You
bad.
effect.
had
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
on that note, all right.
Edit.
Oh, now you want to move on.
Yeah. So
Oh, man.
next we have the mail-in ballot conspiracy, as y'all hear on the news. People out here stealing mailboxes specifically.
Yo, son, whole mailboxes.
Yeah, the
What?
blue. Yeah, they bring forget red box, blue box is gone. Like they
Oh,
take
hold
away
on.
red box.
James is on the other side of the wall. So let us bring you up to speed.
Yeah, so while you were gone, good brother, they've been confiscating mailboxes, the actual boxes to prevent like mail-in ballots. They're making it like real difficult and inconvenient for people in certain neighborhoods to put their ballot in the mail. What else did they do? Something with the post?
The mail
Yeah, the
sorting
sorter.
machines at certain USPS locations was taken
They
out.
took them out. Like, why would you take out mail sorting machines and not replace or update? So there's a lot of been weird, funky stuff, but they starting it now because they like, yo, we running on crunch time 2.5 months before, voting time. So everybody has been pressing, get your mail in ballots if you're out of state or you're not where you usually vote. Definitely do that ASAP. Which leads to also the Democratic convention. Michelle Obama's speech. She really Rock. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and the rest of us gassed just to hear her and Barack talk again, because like it's people who talk like they got some sense. So I don't know, but her speech just was hitting. She nailed everything.
She came right. She came
Yeah,
right. Like it was a lot more direct than she could be when she was when Barack was in office.
yeah.
She couldn't really like say the words that she
For the
really
sake
wanted
of
to
him,
say.
yeah. Now it's
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
game. Like, what's up? Y'all can't do nothing to me. I'm out here. So yeah, for all those y'all, I listened to it. I didn't catch it live, but I listened to it the next day. It's on YouTube, so go check it out. Very inspiring, uplifting, keeps you motivated. Definitely to vote, vote, vote. That's why I want to emphasize. I'm not going to say who you should vote for, but you should vote and think about who you're voting for in your best interest for you. Which leads me to one thing. While she has this speech, I feel like she still gets unnecessary criticism that all the other old first ladies did not get. Like, remember I said it last episode, like
Yeah.
it just kills me that like she says a speech and then everyone's like up in arms, or they try to nitpick, or she said this or she
Yo,
said
it's the
that.
same thing that you enjoy, Zoe. You like balance. Where there's positivity, there will also be negativity. That's just what that is. Like, we know what time it is.
They have
Yeah,
to.
for
We know
sure
what time.
though. Absolutely.
They have to. So, but did it kind of leads me to when I thought about how they critiqued her so much, it made me think about some other females that were recently
Women,
critiqued. So
women.
women that were
There you
recently
go.
critiqued. So but
Talk about
that's the
that
end of
WAP.
this. Yeah, so that that's the end of the zone nose for me. I mean, like that we can get into that next, but yeah, that if I don't know if you heard about that, James, while you I don't know if the song was released when you was
Yeah,
here before you left, but
yeah. I took a listen.
okay,
All right, so
Took a listen.
we're gonna talk about that WAP real quick, real quick.
That's that wow.
Um, you can't look. I'm gonna tell y'all, listeners, you can't have five men on the podcast.
don't
And
judge
as
us.
silly as the word WAP is in general, and then the acronym is dangerous. Anyway,
Yeah, it sure
um,
is. About to
so
mop the wop.
We were, but we were saying, weren't we saying WAP? No, we weren't saying WAP. We're saying, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. And I
about
don't
like
want
when it
Probably a
was
to,
in
good
our
idea.
heyday.
we were using a term to describe a certain thing that sounds like WAP. And I don't know, I'm going to leave it as that.
Cleveland is dead silent.
He got a persona that he got to hold his own, man. Let him be where he at. Like, he's staying in his lane.
Oh shit.
That cloth is clean, boy. I tell you
Yeah,
that.
it was WAP. It was WAP.
Cleveland,
Or
all
WAP.
you see is his glasses fogging up. Like, why they put me out here late in this situation?
Yo, first
Like,
of
man,
all,
I am just reading my
completely
Bible, man.
unrelated.
Stop it.
Glasses fogging up is the worst thing that could ever happen with a man with glasses.
But anyway, about this song, there's a lot of people who have a lot to say about the imagery and the lyrics in terms of what this song entails. And briefly, just tell me how y'all felt about it in regards to the controversy.
The way I feel about it is it's unnecessary controversy. They're not talking about anything from their perspective that men in rap music haven't been talking about for years. I think the difference is currently is that you have female MCs that are literally leading hip hop right now.
Yes.
Leading hip hop. Salt and Pepper were talking about some stuff in their music, but I still don't know if they were leading hip hop the same way that our Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion are leading hip hop. And I think it's kind of the same issue we was talking about with black people. When other folks see black people in a position of power, they get uncomfortable and everything they become super critical of everything. I think it's the same thing for women. Like when women start getting in positions of power and running stuff, now we want to analyze everything they do with a fine-tooth comb. But I think it's an unnecessary criticism. Men have been making music about nasty stuff for years, so unnecessary.
And Lil Kim made a whole Sprite can disappear in her mouth.
She said that.
Yo, and that was
Damn.
after she released the other song, I Used to Be Scared, and y'all know the rest. That was years after that.
Or Slob on My Knob by by 3 6
Listen,
Mafia.
one of my favorite songs is Dude Brown, so I don't like who am I to judge?
I think it's definitely unnecessary criticism. In terms of the criticism, it's terrible. I mean, the song to me, however, is terrible. But in terms of
enjoyed
being,
the song.
In terms of it being derogatory or anything like that, it's not. It's not. It's the culture in which we live in now.
Yeah.
Um, that makes it out that way, so people criticize it or overly criticize it in that nature. I mean, to me, the song is just a terrible song. I can't listen to it. That like it just is whack. But it's not
I
like
enjoyed it.
It's not
It's a
R
cool
and B,
nah.
little.
so James
It's a
don't like
cool
it.
little
That's probably
ditty.
the reason. It's not. That song is terrible, man.
It's catchy to me.
My
That song
initial
is
reaction
terrible.
was saying,
You
my
saw
my initial
Zoe
reaction was
smirk
like,
after he said it was catchy. It's catchy to me.
right,
What happened, Kev? Go ahead, Kev.
mac and cheese smile and all.
Right.
My,
Mac and cheese smile.
my
Hey,
my initial reaction was like, well, damn, they're commercializing the box, and that was just like my initial reaction. But then after I sat with it, I came to the sentiments the same as Cleveland. Like, it's what it is. Like, we've been here before with men kind of like doing the same thing and put it in your mouth was out and all of
Yeah,
that. So
right.
I forgot about that song. Put it in your mouth.
yeah, yeah, I mean,
as he
but
get excited and singing this, you about to go play that later. Like, yo, you don't remember this?
You don't remember this? Yeah,
the
Man.
for
the
me, it
song
was
hasn't got
like,
enough spin. The song hasn't got enough spin my playlist for me to really give you fair criticism on how I really felt
okay,
about it. Like Megan is dope, although she's an adjustment in my real opinion. I'm still adjusting to her. I like Cardi, but I don't know.
I
It's a
think
song.
I
I
think
kind of
Meg is I think Meg is fire because I mean something that I think I do that a lot of people don't do. I can listen to songs and not digest the content. Like the
Oh, I do
content
that all the time.
doesn't live on me. I can listen. So this will bring me to my point. You know how many thugs I've been in songs. You know how many murderers I have been in songs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean. So it's
Var, you don't
Yeah.
remember me? What was this? '06? Hit him up, hit him up. I
yeah,
just kept saying, I
right. The
was
Lil
Lil
Wayne
Wayne,
joint.
Carter. What?
So that's what I'm saying. So like we have all sung songs that puts us if we were actually that thing, we would be in jail somewhere. Like
I definitely
so
was DMX and stopped being greedy for like a good 2 years. Like,
you see, that's just how it is. And I think that's just hip hop. But
yeah.
these two these two women are also people who we're going to kind of mention in terms of our next segment in our A segment this week, which is about breadwinners, right? So imagine that Cardi probably, she's married, she probably makes more money than her husband, who also is a millionaire who gets money as well. I'm not sure if Meg has a significant other, but with Meg and Cardi being very, very like high prominent women, I would imagine in their relationships they're also the people who bring in the most money. So uh, we're going to talk about how we would feel if we were in a relationship where our significant others made more money than us. First question, gut reaction. Are you okay with your wife making more money than you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
lived it already. I did it
James
already.
like, I'm rich, so if my wife is making more money than me,
We good,
we're
good.
rich.
Yeah.
We super rich then.
I would make sure there was just no hesitation. I am absolutely
I'm
100% okay with
100%
that.
cool with it.
James like, yo,
Okay.
if she make
There's
more
no
money than
egos
me,
over here.
what'd you say,
There's no
Kev?
ego. There's no egos over here. I
Nah.
mean, and,
Nine
and
times
quite
out of 10.
frankly, I think the men, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but men that are insecure in that space either aren't confident about their situation
Right.
because it's not a forever thing, realistically, right? And I'm not saying that it can't be forever thing, but you should use it as motivation. You should use that as a drive.
Right.
That should be
Yes.
something that you
Yes.
inspire to say, okay, babe, you got this now, but I'm a X, Y, Z it, right? So
Yep.
of course, like it should be no shame.
How did you come to realize that you would be cool with your wife making more money than you?
Well, I lived it when in the beginning, like when I switched from when I left working with Cleveland at Lottery and then went to Jack, like I took a tremendous pay cut, like 20 stacks. So like
Sheesh.
I was just figuring I just am good at budgeting, so it's like, hey, listen, this is where we at with it. I just had to get out of that situation, but I knew it wasn't gonna be permanent. So it's just work my way up to make the difference up in bonuses or however I could throw my little something here and there. I was not now, what I mean, is not the case, but at the time for at least well over maybe 2 years, and we moved and everything else. So it didn't bother me at all. I just was like, I know I'm not stuck here. That's all. Like I just know like
Yeah.
even if because I looked at it like even if I didn't have her, I didn't want to be stuck making that anyway.
True.
So it was like
True.
she just helped me and give me some time, some leeway where if I was by myself, your back is against the wall. But when you have somebody, if you assess it right, then you can live properly and budget right. And then when you get more money, then you treat and whatever. I do say this though, because you guys know who I am. I do things so people don't have the right to say anything to me, right? So I specifically
Eddie Zoe.
yeah, the extra
So
mile so that way you
Zo
can't say
buy dinner every night.
yeah, you feel me? Like or I mean I ain't buying. If I went then I wasn't buying, but I would definitely cook dinner more
Yeah.
or the house is gonna be extra cleaned up because I'm gonna do my part. See, that's the thing. You gotta keep that balance. What you don't put out here, then you gotta do something else. But so that's how I looked at it, like, because I never want anybody, regardless of my wife or any of y'all, like when we live together, like I just don't want to hear that with your broke ass. Like I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah, that's
doing
real.
well.
no, not to her, but to your friends. Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I ain't never got no money.
she don't even fake to reach like she gonna pay. Like yeah.
Yo, I never thought about it. I honestly, I never thought about it because to Kev's point, I always felt like wherever I am now is just like temporary. Like this is a stepping stone to something else. So for me, because I work hard and because I always have like a what's next mentality, I
Right.
guess I never thought about like what if my wife made more money than me and it being an actual issue. Because to be honest, I feel like if my wife is making more money than me, then I'm going to do what I could do to support her income and support whatever it is she's doing to make sure that money
Back rubs
coming
upon
in
entry.
for us.
Soon as you come in, like, how you doing, babe? How you doing, baby? How was your week?
At home dad.
You put your computer on the charger for you. I got everything. Like,
Whatever you need already.
So what Zoe in Cleveland is saying is like, soon as wifey come in, he got his boxers on, ready for war.
Snap pants on deck.
Snap pants.
The most important part of it is like, I guess we're assuming to say that the conversation is about married couples. I'm assuming, right? Is that fair to
Yeah,
assume
so I'm
that?
excluded. Keep going.
My thing is like it's a partnership all in all. And I guess like the pressure for men is that, you are proclaimed to be the leader of the household and you're proclaimed to be this and that. And, modern times, man, you might find women make more money than men because of just their hustle, just their grind, just their early development. And, men gonna take more risk early in their lives and later in their lives, whereas women are gonna be on a straight path arrow to achieve their success. And, I think, my wife makes more money than me right now, to be transparent with y'all right now, right? So for me, it's like it's a constant grind for me though. I'm still a leader of the house. I still assume that role. Mm-hmm. And what's more impressive is that she allows me to assume that role. So if your wife is the breadwinner, right, and she doesn't allow you to assume the role of a leader of the house or the man in the house, then that's kind of a dangerous relationship, in my opinion. Because
let's talk about that. Like, what's the man in the house? Like, let's put the breadwinner to the side. Like, what
you get the big piece of chicken?
What if they
somebody
vegan?
Give my piece up, we fight.
What if they vegan? So what they get now?
The bean burger or whatever.
You mean a big ass beef patty or bean patty?
Split pea.
But because I think that we all are aligned, and we can go deeper on this in a second. We are aligned that we are all okay if our wives or our girlfriends made more money than us. Yeah. If that's the case, what then are the privileges of what a breadwinner is? And I think what Kev said is important. Typically, breadwinner and man of the house are aligned. They go together. But what is...
Well, historically.
What is a man of the house? And if a woman is a breadwinner, can she assume that position?
Well, I'm going to defer to Cleveland on this one.
So I think I have very strong opinions on what it is, and it kind of somewhat, some of my Christian counterparts might see it a little differently. I think that the being a leadership role or a man being a head or the head of the household, like I kind of see it like it's my job to be a covering in the house, and I don't see like headship as being dictatorship. I don't see it as being controlling. I see it as being a covering, meaning if something were to go down, like I'm getting hit first. Like a covering is like, you think about it, like in a house, like a roof is a covering, and then everything else is supporting the roof. But the roof is getting hit with the rain, the roof is getting hit with the snow, is getting hit with all of the elements before anything in the house would get hit with it. And that's the way I see it. So I look at leadership in a sense of, in my household, as honestly just like reacting to things the right way, or being super supportive, controlling my own emotions and temperament. Like I look at leadership in that way, as opposed to being like, well, I have the final say in a decision. Nah, that's not what it is. Like
So
headship is just like being protective, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
What
two
good?
things. Kev threw the ball to Cleveland. That was not rehearsed, people. That was off the top. That was off the top.
That was some preacher moment right there, though, bro.
That was amazing.
Very well explained.
I want to be a roof now. I want to be a roof. But before I pass the ball back to Kev, are you equating man of the house to the word leadership or headship? Is that the equivalent you're making? Okay.
I'm making that. Yeah, I'm making that. It's that similarity. I think man of the house is like a leadership position. I think it is a role, but it's definitely not a dictatorship at all.
Well, this is what I want to add to it. So like, it could, so historically, like the breadwinner is the person that makes the decisions, right? This is historically. I'm not saying it's accurate now, but historically, the financial decisions, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, is the person who got the money to do it. So that's where that like original, I guess, characteristic came from, right?
Right.
But like Kev was saying, is like, because the person's making more money doesn't necessarily mean that they're, they're just bringing in the stuff, but he might be the one to organize it, do X, Y, and Z. Look, I'm the budgeter, even though she's bringing in the money, she don't know how to budget, or whatever the case may be. But I was raised where like I saw both. Like I saw my mom being the breadwinner.
It's a good case study.
Yeah, in order to us, like the house, to get to Jackson, like that y'all know. So, and then my dad, the ebbs and flows of his company. Then now he's the one that is pretty much, so the roles change throughout the course of a marriage. So that was like an education for me. Is like, it's not always going to be the same. You're not always going to be the one on top. You're not always. So you have to be able to adjust and be okay. But I mean, my mom is the more planner, coordinator, decision maker, I guess, with certain things. So it didn't bother me one bit if ladies does certain things like that, or makes more money. I'm just like, I've seen it done, and people were perfectly fine. It's just about how you coordinate the relationship between you two and the understanding. But I do think sometimes gender roles do play a part, in the sense of we operate off of like ego, and like if our ego is not filled,
speak for yourself, sir.
All right. But like the whole man be a man thing, like as a provider, protector, that's that goes back
as
to
a
the
roof.
Yeah. So I remember even my mom teaching me, like when I was little, right? My mom was like, when you are on a date, or when you're walking with a female or a woman, you should,
there you go, a woman,
you should walk on the outside and let her walk on the inside. And I was like,
wow. Kill me first.
Yeah, I'm like, so I gotta get hit by the car. Oh, that's like, who came up with that idea? Like
Cleveland, because you were roof.
But those are things that you learn, but that's still kind of like gender specific or whatever, where it's like historically, and the stereotypes that, although we nowadays in 2020 are trying to like make everything neutral, some stuff is just,
but it don't work.
Yeah,
it don't work. And I think the gender role thing is a very good example. I feel like gender roles in itself could be a whole nother podcast. We can probably do it in the future. But so, all right, let's ground us in this. All right, so everybody here is cool with their wives or their girlfriends making more money than them. annual salary, right? Boom. Next, we go to gender roles, and your wife makes more money than you. You're the man in the house. As Cleveland said, you have the leadership role. Y'all are out to eat dinner. Who's paying?
That should come out of the group discretionary fund.
I mean,
Like,
it's already
finances.
established. Yeah, for sure.
Finances, like, so for me and my wife, like, we have like, I guess multiple accounts. We have our own discretionary fund. We have like a house discretionary fund. We have bills, and so we have our own personal thing going. We have.
So you got an indoor pool, outdoor pool. Go ahead.
All of that. So like, so for us, like, if we were going somewhere together, we'd probably use the joint discretionary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't even be a question as to who's paying. But that's just
So I feel the same. I mean, it doesn't. When you're married, it does not a matter of who's paying. I mean, listen, it's even, let's just say, whether it's husband or wife. Let's say one person's not working, not bringing in any income. When y'all go out to eat, it's not the husband paying, right? That's the house money. Like if that's my if I have that money, that's my wife can take whatever she want at any point in time. Now, obviously, we're not talking about going on shopping sprees just to go on shopping sprees, because that's not conducive to what we bring in and stuff like that. But you don't gotta ask like me to go do something. You know what I mean?
So you got access to the black card at any time.
I will say though, when you are on a date, I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but the waiter or waitress always slides the little black folks.
Yes,
of course. I mean, it's just expected. You're on a date, and just to kind of touch on Zoe's point, historically, you can go way back. Men were always making more money than women, even statistically. Like, you go in any industry, men were making
women
more
couldn't work.
Right. So like, that gender role innately forced the man to always have to make financial decisions, to always have to be asked about spending, because they were the one bringing money in. But once you see what happened when women got into the industry, they came in and did what they had to do and took over any space that they kind of got into.
They kicked the door down.
For sure, though. You know what I'm saying? So like, to James' point, like, you marry, it's like, this is our money. It's no you or me. Now, I will say, every once in a while, in my personal pocket, like my personal discretionary fund, I may say, you know what, it's gonna come out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I make that acknowledgement because it's a sacrifice. Now I'm sacrificing my budget for our enjoyment, and and that's just another way to kind of handle that. But ultimately, like when you're married, there's no really, like, as James mentioned, it's no real. You got this, like,
son. I'm gonna hold you. Y'all hitting all y'all shots. We like the Jersey Globetrotters tonight. Y'all are knocking down corner threes, Dame level threes. Y'all are.
Well, I would say it's probably because of how we was raised. I will say this, James, before I'm gonna let you go, but I did get asked a question several years ago by somebody like, did me and my wife sign a prenup? I'm like, what?
I got asked that too.
And my thing is like, well, that's setting up for failure, and you already dividing stuff. Like, why?
Hold on, don't jump there yet. Let James finish his point on the previous topic, then we'll go right to the prenup thing. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, I want to talk about that prenup thing now. No, I was just like kind of piggyback on what Kev was saying. Like, even though like we'll go out and let's just say, like, I'll pay, right? And it's usually like using, the one card, like the credit card that we use, that we both have access to, the same limit. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same card. So whether if I use it or if she's using it, right, all of our bills are paid out of one account. So that credit card bill is going to get paid out of that one account. So that's what I mean by, is like, it doesn't matter who is actually paying, even for, like, I guess, birthday dinners or anniversary, stuff like that. It may seem like it's a little bit more because right now you're going to put out a little bit more. And in a way, people may think, oh, well, you're kind of buying your own gift or paying for your own dinner. So, in that manner, you can make sure that, a little bit of extra cash you might have in your own account, you're kind of putting a little bit more that month. But you know what I mean? Like, for the most part, we're paying together.
But that's like an extra $20,000 for you?
Not at all. And when it comes to them waiters, don't get it twisted. Like, I make sure I look away when they bring that joint. I'm like, don't try to slide it over here. You know what I mean? Because listen, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like on our first date, she like my wife paid.
Yeah.
So
you told us about that.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. It's not like I wasn't trying to let her pay. I don't know how she finagled that.
Yeah,
but
she
definitely
smooth.
finagled that. Yeah,
that's dope.
Honestly,
I mean, that's dope.
Ahead,
That's dope. This is a whole different topic, but that's dope. But that's also a deal breaker prior to when you, as a woman, look away and act as if like you don't see it coming.
If we on a regular date,
I got
it
ahead,
regardless.
Kev, you going somewhere.
I got it regardless, but the idea of support system, because ultimately, like I was looking for it and I found a partner. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So like when you're purposely thinking that I got it because you're here with me, whatever the case is, then low key is a turn off, low key. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows me that you can't really hold on your own and you're not in that place to kind of like manage yourself or take care or to support me if things go haywire. You know what I mean? Like Zoe said, like life is finicky, bro. Like you need somebody that's going to be able to hold you, support you when you are at your highest level and then at your lowest level. You know what I'm saying? So
and can you fake it? Can you reach for me?
I was gonna but that's what I was gonna bring up.
Hey, be careful what
is that reach though? It's the same thing. Like you, if it's not genuine, it don't matter. Then it's like if you looking away or if you reaching, if it's not,
I disagree.
Bro, if it's not genuine,
fake it, man.
Listen, no, I personally say if it's not genuine, don't fake it.
Listen,
because it means nothing. I want to know your true you. So
be careful. Be careful when you ask her to fake. That's all I would say. First off, right?
I know.
So be careful with that. All right. Secondly,
but sometimes you need that too.
Well, yeah. Again, that's the ego you said you ain't have, right?
I didn't say me. I said we. I said we.
I ain't know we speaking French. But anyway, But I would say, like Kev, me and Kev, like, yo, I don't care if it's I don't know you enough to know if it's genuine at that point. We talking like early, not wife now. I'm saying in the beginning.
I know.
I will be honest with you, like Kev said, it's a deal breaker because when he brought that up, it made me think of this one time. I went on a date like that my mom orchestrated, which clearly y'all know about this. Yeah. So it was not a good thing. But I'd say, okay, I'll take the person on the date, whatever. And we're driving on the Garden State Parkway, and I just automatically got turned off for the rest of the night when we get to the toll booth, and you don't have to reach in your pocket. I have a whole ashtray full of change. You can't be a good co-pilot, like pass me the change. I gotta stop, hold up the line.
It's real specific, like 76 cents on the Parkway.
You know how it is. The Turnpike is different. They always got the change, but sometimes the Parkway don't even have nobody there at night. You gotta throw it in the little
right. Then honk the horn, like, come on,
like,
man.
I did that. I paid that shit. So I'm like, yo, that right there, you don't even got my back. You can't even be a good co-pilot and just you have to spend your own money. I have an ashtray full of change. Just hand it to me.
That's a good point. Well, me and my girl were friends before we began to date, and like because I knew her, I never took anything personal. But like I'm talking about the first 8 dates. I felt like she looked me right in my eye when the bill came. Like, so my interpretation was that she acts like she has a father, right? She was taught. This is in quotes. She was taught the right way, like because she knows. This was her words. She's like, I'm not going to entertain you this far if I don't think you have the potential or you can take care of us, right? So I was like, all right, but I knew her, so it wasn't a turn off. I think first dates, if I would have got stared in the face, it would have been like, I don't know.
Like you paying this bill. I don't care what you think
about. We also got to be smart. We also got to be smart about our first dates, man. Like when I was dating, it was coffee dates, bro. Going to Starbucks, $25 the whole date. 20
and
not me.
I had tears.
James put me on so many different stuff.
Yeah.
Melting pot.
The melting pot. I know it.
First of all, I don't even like that because while I'm cooking and I'm here, like,
bro, I'm talking about $150 dates, bro, and I'm like,
bro, Chart House. I learned Chart House from Kev.
Mind boggling.
I can't even eat seafood, and I learned Chart House from Kev.
Mind boggling.
Not at all.
I used to show with some chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah, man.
I never even heard the word fun. I never even heard the word fondue before James went to the melting pot.
Bro.
Right, Don Jaime over here. But
Yo,
to Bar's point, I know we're gonna get attacked because realistically, your girl's right. Like, women should look for a leader, quote unquote, right? And we shouldn't really be expecting for the women to pay. And that's not, and the payment is not a big deal. We're just saying we're playing gesture. This is like more about, like this is like I said, this is a gesture, so to speak. And yeah, women should look for that. And I don't think she was wrong because she was actually raised the right way. Because if I had a daughter, I'm telling my daughter, like you shouldn't be going out on a date with a guy that can't hold y'all down, right? And really,
what if she asked you out though? Like, what if she asked you out?
Then listen, to be honest, be like, listen, yo, be like, it's not in my budget this week. No, you ain't gotta say that, but you gotta be like,
so you don't go if you don't go if she asks you out.
If she asks, hold on, James, be clear. Is she asking you out and you don't have bread?
No.
I mean, I guess that's a little bad, but if you don't have money in general to pay for a cab or something, I'm saying like, so if I initiate a date, I'm like, I'm paying. Like, I'm asking you to come out with me.
Right.
For sure.
1,000. I think women should be brave and shoot their shot and be able to ask men out as well. 2020, you can ask a man out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you asking that person out, are you asking them out and then they have to pay?
Yeah, don't decide my money for me.
I think you should always have it in the clip. You should always be ready. I think
that's
I agree with that.
As a man, like, and I'm saying man in quotes, right? I'm just speaking about the way we were raised. You should be ready to hold your own in any situation financially, no matter what, right? But if you're on a date, you're going to eat. You eating. It ain't like you're going to eat and you're not eating.
I'm gonna get the water.
No,
let me get a large water.
Bro, no, I don't even like lobster. I'm getting lobster because you paying. You asked me out.
That's what they do. That's what some do to us.
Nah, I mean, I'm kidding. I'm not.
I know. I'm about to say
that really is a
James,
my mom used to tell me that. My mom used to say, "Yo, if you invite somebody out, you better know where you going, and you better look at the most expensive thing on the menu. And if you can't afford that, you can't."
Yes,
right.
That's a bar.
Before you leave the house, you look at the menu, and this is prior to the menu being online. So you better have driven there the day before or something like that and get a little trial run. But it was, you take a look, you already know if it's lobster, if it's the sampler, whatever, wherever you go, you better be able to, if you're inviting that person out. Now,
so
them inviting you, it gets a little dicey.
To answer Jane's question, if she asks me, number one, I'm gonna be weird about it. I'm not saying that it's not a big deal. I mean, first date, hey, take me out, or let me take you out. I think that's dope, right? I'm gonna say yes to that idea, but I'm gonna be prepared to pay for it though, like regardless, right? Like I'm gonna be prepared to pay for that.
Bro, I agree with all of that. I would too. But what I'm saying is that, like, can we not like have that discussion? If if a woman is asking to take a man out, as if a man would ask a woman to take out, should it be their responsibility, or do you still think the man, because they're the man?
I'm not having that conversation.
How do you do that? I'll jump with James on that.
I'm ready with my $115.
Hey, Var, that's when you do the stare that your girl used to do. That's when you sit at the table and do the stare.
Hold on. For y'all that can't see us, I got my fist under my chin. Like, are you ready?
The thinker look. Yeah.
The bill's here.
Yeah. Nah, but to James' point, now I'm gonna call you bluff. I'm not gonna not bluff. I'm gonna call your shot. I'm gonna let you take me out. I'm not gonna OD. Cause I'm not gonna OD on the menu. That's just not my style to begin with. But I'm gonna order. I'm gonna watch what you order. We're gonna have a good conversation, and then when the bill comes, I'm gonna grab the bill because that's just what I'm gonna do. Now, if you say no, I got it, I'm not even gonna argue with you. Like, all right, I'm just gonna put it down. But
okay.
I'm gonna look to pay.
Reach. That's a genuine reach right there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna grab it.
Genuine reach.
You can be with the no, I got it. Then ain't no argument. I ain't gonna get into no, I got it. I ain't gonna get into none of that. All right, you got it. Because then it's not gonna be the end of the date. Probably gonna do something else, and whatever we do next, I got that. You know what I'm saying? So like,
and I agree. That's my next point, because taking it back to when my wife, when we first went out, my wife now, and she paid for dinner. Afterwards, we went to go play some pool, had a little bar, stuff like that. And I not paid for all. I was like, listen,
Yeah.
because you wasn't supposed to pay for dinner anyway.
Right,
So
right,
I'm
right.
like, I'm paying for this. Like, don't like
Yeah.
we're not. That's not even a discussion for this one. So
Mhm.
that is like a lot of times you do that. You go maybe take a walk, get some ice cream, or you're gonna go see a movie after dinner, or whatever the case is. Like, you know what I mean? Then you can pay for that part, but they invited you
So
out. Shit.
we've gotten a little further from the cloth, so I want to go back to the cloth and see what the brother has to say. Cleveland, how you feel about the situation? You've been a little quiet over here.
Oh no, I was enjoying the conversation. I agree with what everyone is saying. The only thing I will add to it is just like I think it's all about dating with the right intentions too, to kind of like prevents the weird stuff from happening. We talked about
You're
last
so much. You're so mature.
no,
I know, right? Get out of here with
Intention.
that.
We
If you're
Nobody
talked
gonna
cares.
about
date, make sure you have the right intentions.
you have to have the right
Yeah,
intentions.
Cleveland. Meanwhile, he used to go on dates and be like, "I'm sorry, I can't pay. I gave my money to the Lord this week.
I
I paid my
tied.
tithes."
No. Yo, but like
Hold on. Is you tired or did you tired?
tied. We was talking about the last episode, or maybe the one before that, with the dude who took someone out to dinner and they posted it online like, agrees.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Like, so that's the kind of stuff that like people have to be conscious about. Like, if you're really intentionally dating someone with the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you want to see where it goes, like
Right.
you want to see where it goes, then like the money factor, both parties should be prepared to pay. Like,
wash
I feel like
dishes.
the man should pay. I want to make my stance clear. I feel like the man should pay. But if you're legitimately wanting to get to know someone, that's an investment. You should be willing to make an
Right.
investment just like the other person.
I ain't paying
I,
the $5.
I do think.
Cleveland said something earlier.
Go ahead, Kev.
Cleveland said something earlier, and I don't want you to have no reservations on that. And you guys, some guys may be apprehensive to kind of agree, but to proclaim that you're on a budget, I don't think that's so far. I mean, it's a mature thing to do. I don't think a lot of us in our early dating ages would agree to that and to proclaim that vocally.
No.
But I think by acknowledging that you're financially responsible is a mature thing to kind of express, right? If you say, look,
Hold on. What ended up happening back in the day was we would say something, and I quote, "No, just come over.
Yeah.
We're not
That was the
we're not going out on a date. I got Carlo Rossi here.
true.
Rossi,
Dragonberry.
good old Rossi, boy.
I got some Dragonberry. I go to get some Tropicana, some juice,
Mhm.
some cherry limeade, and
Chases.
you know what I mean. Order some Chinese. Spend $15. I mean, and you might have a happy ending. Like
And
so.
that was my point after, like, so it's not about, because if you say you on a budget, man, and if that's somebody you would like to get to know, or your intentions are, I want to get to know you, your heart might get broken, right? So
Yeah,
you
true.
can still go out on a date and not necessarily make it expensive. I mean,
Gotta
you
be
can
creative.
just freaking creative, have a nice picnic in the park that you kind of set up
Yo.
yourself.
Listen,
You
I
have to
cooked
do
for my
something
wife first
different.
date. I cooked and took it to her all the way to Jersey City.
All right,
Yo, man,
that's there you go too. I mean,
that's the whole vibe, and I think that we're going into like dinner dates, but like you got museums, you got you got parks, you got all types of stuff. But I don't want to get us too far from the breadwinner conversation. Are there expectations of the person who makes the most money?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think naturally it happens. I don't think it's something where you go out your way, but I think people usually like it's like you're the better shooter, so you naturally just pass the ball that way. Like,
Right.
okay, he like I said, historically it was like the decision maker kind of thing. So I
Right.
think some of that stuff just never leaves. So whoever makes, because it's never like nothing's ever 50-50 split 100
Right.
everything, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it really, and again, that's to each his own as far as their relationship. Some people's different, like how I might operate with my wife is different from how Cleveland operate with his wife, or Kev, or James. So like you gotta get that, you have to find your medium, you know what I mean, your balance and your grounding. But I think a lot of the vacations, the big stuff is expected to the person who's making more money to pay for that. That's how I think.
Can I make
That's
a
a
delineation? Like, so
go ahead.
I think
Spell that first.
fiscal fiscal
Yo,
D
expectations.
my
is
wife be doing that
DE
shit to
is
me.
the DELINEATION.
AV
But
for the
like,
win.
I want to like make the difference between the expectations of the breadwinner financially versus the like expectations that come with the breadwinner in terms of being like head of the household, so to speak, or being the leader of the household. I think there's a difference. I think the breadwinner can't be expected to be the final decision maker just because they make more money, or the breadwinner can't decide what they want to do or don't want to do in the household because they make more money, because like that just won't work, especially when maybe you're not in a field where you're ever earn a whole lot of money. Like if let's say
teacher.
I respect teachers, like for sure, but let's say I'm a teacher and I'm married to athlete, a professional athlete. The professional athlete is going to make more money than me. But does that mean they should have more control over the say in the household? Absolutely not. That would be crazy.
But
Yeah, it is true.
do you think women have felt that way as well historically, despite the fact that historically women have taken care of the children, taken care of the household, making sure the bills is paid, and the man would just make the money, but he would come home and chill. If you really equal the two out, the household, the what do they call it back in the day? The household engineer has way more responsibilities in terms of what's going on in your actual life than the man. So
But you got to think about it this way: the household engineer is also like living under the roof that the breadwinner is, so to speak, sponsoring. Right. So without that breadwinner sponsoring that house, then there wouldn't be no household engineer. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm
no,
saying
I
that
feel you.
everyone has a role to play.
Everyone has a role.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and to Zoe's point, there is no 50-50. Like, I'm making more money now because okay, I might be working 12 hours a day, so I'm not gonna be in no mood to clean and take care of no kids. This is not the energy that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to do that. That's what we got to do right now. So again, it's just all based off like I look at it as a team dynamic, right? If you could shoot, then you shoot. If you could play D, then that's what you do to win the championship. That's the ultimate goal. The goal isn't to glout who can shoot better if I ain't a shooter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what we're here to do. So
but this will be the notion of one or the other not working when we talk about that. Right. So when you talk about household engineer, that's essentially assuming that person is not working at all. So their job is that household engineer.
Yeah, this is
right. It's not like you working.
History, yeah.
Okay, so I'm about to say, because if you're working and then you got to come home and do all that in the house, and the other person doesn't, then that's just wrong. But if that person is not working, then their job essentially is the household. And I know that early on, when the child is very young, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, it's going to be really tough, and the person that's working needs to chip in some way somehow. But once that child enters school and that person still does not work, I was just talking to my wife about that. I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know. So maybe someone can tell me this. What do people do when the child is in school for 8 hours? I know there's some errands to run, but how many for 8 hours? So when I come home at 8, and I don't want, I'm like, well, okay, so I work 12 hours.
Misogyny incoming.
Not that.
No, I think just
I'm just trying to figure out, because maybe I'm wrong in terms of there's a lot more during the day that they do when the child is at school, right? And maybe I'm wrong. I just don't know. Mm-hmm. So my interpretation of what they do is nothing.
When my mom was home, she was shopping. So
shopping for 8 hours?
She was shopping. With QVC boxes all over the place.
That was just to kind of like speak to James. I think you're right. I think once childbearing age is over, then that's a conversation you got to have with your wife. If you're in that situation, like, look, you need a part-time situation, right? Because now it's like kids are growing and doing their own thing, and you need to figure out. I think it's cool. If I was in a situation where I was an athlete and I was making that amount of money, and my wife, we had kids, I would say you don't need to work. You know what I mean? Because I'm bringing in the amount of money, and you could just take care of the kids full time. Even at that point, when kids are up growing and running around, you got to figure out another hobby. You can't just sit in the house all day and not do anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as an athlete, you'll probably be able to fund her side hustle or her endeavors, her entrepreneurial things, perhaps.
Yeah. You gotta find something to do. Like, no one's slouching.
Talk about on a more realistic level, right? Because I think most of our listeners probably are not going to be athletes or maybe not married to an athlete.
Professional.
But
So
most of our listeners are also not going to be able to like have a woman that's going to just take care of the kids and the guy just
That's true.
sponsoring
I
the whole
think
no, we
household.
do. That is like that. I mean, that is normal. I mean, people, because a lot of times it's not even that the significant, unless whether it's wife or husband, in terms of the amount of money they're making, if it's not enough or significant enough to be past of what they're paying, what they would have to pay for childcare,
Mhm.
then they just don't work anyway because childcare is so expensive, especially here in New Jersey.
right.
Right? If they have two children and they're paying $40,000 in childcare a year and that might be a lot, I don't know, but if they're
You said
paying a
what?
large amount of money and they let's say it's 40 and they only make 50, it's not worth for them to go to work,
Mm.
right? It's like
Right.
it's just
Okay.
not worth it, like because now you can stay home with your kids, you can experience more with your kids, and right, so that would actually be a smarter move for you.
But
I
here's the
agree.
thing. Here's the thing. We can really spend like hours on this specific topic, but I want to call out one thing. Then I'm going to wrap this up. Uh, I think all five of us are blessed to be in the positions that we are in, and I think that our situations are probably best case scenarios for a lot of us, right? So, you four are married to women that I know that you love dearly, and y'all have found the people that y'all want to spend the rest of your lives with.
Mhm.
I know for a fact that that is not the easy to come by, right? So that's one thing. So I do want to clear up the fact that, like, we're speaking from our perspective, but we have really favorable situations, at least on the outside. But what I do want to end off on is we've been real progressive right here. Like I expected at least one or two people to say like, nah, fuck that. So what I want to ask is, can y'all give me one actionable item in order for men listening to put their ego to the side in order to accomplish a bigger goal in regards to the household?
I would say come up with a goal. How about that? If you have one, then you won't have no problem. Like because then you can stay focused on that. It's people who don't have goals and they just stuck living. I think that's where the problem happens because there's no future. You just there, like
Mhm.
we're taking up a space. Both of y'all taking up space. You and her. So if you
Right.
have no goals or no ambition or drive to do anything, whether it's travel, buy something, a house, even as simple as a car, it don't have to be anything crazy. Or if you're in the projects, get out the projects. I want to get a townhome. I want to get a rent an apartment somewhere else. Anything. It doesn't have to be on a larger scale. But if you don't have a goal together, then you're never gonna move in the same direction together. You know
Bet.
what I'm saying? So I look at it
That's a
like
good
that.
one.
But
That's a good one.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
I think this is more about like as simple as what you said, Var. Put your pride to the side and see how far it's
Mm.
going to take you. Right? Just it's that simple. Don't be so prideful. Don't worry about what other people think. Put that to the side and see how far your relationship can really grow and develop.
To piggyback off of what James just said, putting your pride to the side is much easier when you found the right person. Make
Right.
sure that
Right.
you are doing your due diligence when dating to know what their habits are, to know what their behaviors are. If, as Zoe said, with your broke ASS comes up during conversation,
You put your pride
it's
aside
not
when you
the
hear that.
one.
Okay.
That probably is not the one. So, like, I think finding that person to build with is key in putting your ego and pride to the side for sure.
Yeah,
I
she gonna be like,
say I
are
agree.
you being calm today? But your broke ass, like, fuck,
Everything is
can't
with
even.
Everything with your broke ass. Like, you want something to drink with your broke ass? She gonna be
Tough
nice
to
So,
and
hear.
disrespect you
That's
in the
But
tough.
same sentence.
my
but
fault,
broke
Kev.
when being broke is a word of sadness because it doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have any money. It just means that you are unmotivated and you don't
Talk
have
about it.
money and you don't
Mm.
have no goals, you have no vision. You're just broke, bro. Like broke is just like a word to
Broken.
describe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to kind of clear that up. But if you are in a position, I think that we're trying to allude to the idea of you're not the breadwinner as a man, then you got to find motivation in what your partner brings to the table. And
Mm.
if you are insecure about that, then you got to look within yourself to figure out how can you find drive and motivation to at some point maybe not be the breadwinner, but what's going to be your asset value to the relationship?
Yep.
What's going to be an asset value? What's going to be some intangible values that you can bring to a relationship outside
Yes.
of bread, right? Because I know we talk about money. I know money comes with power in some conversations, but in a relationship, that's not the end all be all. So what can you bring to the relationship? What kind of values can you bring to the relationship that's going to help the relationship grow?
Yep.
I think
power, respect.
on Kev's point, Kev, you speaking exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say be Draymond Green, right?
Triple
Draymond
single?
Green, maybe some nights. Draymond Green is a basketball player on the Golden State Warriors. He himself has 3 championship rings. He does not score very often, but he does all the dirty work. If you are not Steph Curry, for right now, it's okay to do the dirty work. It's, so to speak. Support, you know what I mean? Support your partner. Have those conversations. Also build on yourself, because you can't neglect Draymond got an extension for a lot of money. He's never going to be broke, right? So he knew his role, he maximized it, and he revolutionized what it means to be not just a role player. He was a all-star as a role player, right? So he's the best at what he does. And it's not flashy, it's not pretty, but he gets the job done. And he is irreplaceable.
Yeah,
he's a key asset. He's irreplaceable. So
that's
thank you
what I
for
was
that.
saying before with the, if you're quote unquote like the stereotypical breadwinner or with that old school thought process, then you gotta kind of hold your own. Like you said, the dirty work. I was, house gotta be clean, this, that, and the third. And man or woman, if you have the, even nowadays, it's not really about money. It's more like scheduling. Like, I mean, we have kids. It's like who got the most availability. So if I have the most
So
availability, I'm home first. Then
you just hit me with a Hassan Whiteside. Y'all see me go to the cup? That layup was real smooth. I was about to transition, and Zoe blocked my shit off the backboard.
Yeah, I did.
just say I was adding to it because I'm like, yo, we did. That's kind of what you said it better than I did. So I was bringing it back. Like I was trying to say that, but you got it across better. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but it just ain't sound.
Yeah,
like
me
that.
too. Me too.
Yeah,
me too, for sure.
That's
Plus
what he
one.
said. Yeah, yep. So yeah,
But no, I think honestly we're a very mature group. I'm proud of y'all, man. I'm really proud of y'all. Speaking of mature, we're going to this brother who has his motivational moment for this week. So I'm gonna pass it over to Cleveland. Take it from here, bro.
Thanks, bro. So this week, the motivational moment is about the concept of timing. So last week we talked about the value of pursuing impact over importance, but timing is one of the most critical elements when it comes to how impactful you can be, because timing can impact how effective your actions are. So specific example, if you tell your wife happy anniversary a week after the anniversary date, then that's bad timing and that's bad impact. Or if you say you can dance, but you can't dance on beat, then you have bad timing and bad impact. Or if you speak before you listen to understand, then you have bad timing and bad impact. So the question is, how can you get better at timing, and how can we all grow in the area of timing? And there's 3 P's that I have for this week. The first P is preparation. Preparation is a key part of understanding timing, because when your time comes, you want to have the foundational things in place that you need in order to move forward. So if you're starting a business, you want to have your LLC, you want to have your all of your documentation right, you want to have your business insurance, you want to have your tax ID number. The second P I would say is practice. Consistently do what you want to do when no one is watching. Practice, whether you're practicing a jump shot, whether you're practicing on an instrument, whether you're practicing singing, just practice, practice, practice. The last thing I would say that will help you when your time comes and help you be the most impactful and get your timing right is prayer. There are going to be divine opportunities that come along where you will not have time to prepare. You will not have time to practice. You are just going to have to perform. So if you want to be the most effective that you can be and get the most impact out of your actions, just make sure you work on your timing through preparation, practice, and prayer.
So now we're going to give it to James, and James doesn't specifically have a stock pick, but he has something in the realm of that. So James, go ahead.
Yes. So I just kind of want to talk a little bit about the last time I talked about one of our stock picks of the week, which was Apple. That was 2 Wednesdays ago. And today Apple officially became the first company to hit a $2 trillion valuation. So still pretty good pick. Again, that one's going to have their stock split happening, I believe, on August 24th. which will make it a little bit cheaper to purchase a particular share in the company. And again, the stock split does not change the valuation of the company. It just makes it more appealing to investors who want to invest in the company. So that's one, still something I think you guys should still look at. Two, Tesla, obviously is a hot commodity right now. I think they're trading a little bit above $1,800 something a share, but they also just announced a 5-for-1 stock split. That's also happened at the end of August, which will make it a lot cheaper to purchase one of their shares. So I'm not going to get into, the pros and cons of it, because there are definitely pros and cons, and I'm, not necessarily saying right now that Tesla is a great stock to pick, because there are a lot of volatility things that's going to happen with, I think, their particular stock. But because of the stock split, it definitely makes it, that's definitely a plus for them. And then the last thing I kind of want to talk about is just make sure that you guys look into Airbnb. They are looking to file with the SEC for their IPO to eventually go public. So just keep a lookout on that, because one of the best things you can do is kind of get in early with companies like that, in terms of when they release their stock or really when they go public, because you get their stock at a very cheap price. And then as long as obviously the market does well, the company does well. And again, of course, Airbnb right now, they're not going public, but just filing for the IPO doesn't mean that they're going public, but that's like a step in that direction. So just keep a lookout for that. And I definitely think that'll be a good thing in the future.
Thank you. That was Wendell of Opportunity by Moneybag Yo.
And just for the listeners, James just came in breaking news that he's willing to buy a couple of stocks for some of y'all, since he got
shit.
I heard that too. So
it's breaking news. It went right across my screen.
Nah, definitely diversify your portfolio though, right? Don't just buy all tech stock, right? Definitely get some index funds, get some tech stock, get healthcare. Diversify your portfolio, and actually a diversified portfolio just really means 8 different stocks, between 8 and 20. It doesn't really matter where it's from, and that'll actually
between 8 and 20.
Yeah, but it's really, you just need 8, but you don't really, because people be having stocks literally all over the place, thinking that that's going to be diversified. You just need really, in reality, 8 stocks to truly be diversified, right? Because statistically speaking, 8 stocks will give you that diversification, so that when something's not doing so well, others will do a little bit better. But again, just get some stocks, get some index funds, invest in a few bonds, right? Vary your risk, you'll be good to go.
Appreciate that, bro. So that was Window of Opportunity. And now we're going to kick it over to Brother Zoe to wrap us up with the Serenity Prayer.
Well, as always, I appreciate you, brothers. I hope you guys have a good week coming up.
You too, bro.
To the listeners, thank you for continuously listening. To the new listeners, thank you for listening today. I also want to have y'all pay attention to them stock picks, because we don't invest as much as we should. So I definitely want to add to that. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know it's tight just separating yourself from the money, but something a little simple, just as like whatever your vice is, was alcohol or smoking, whatever, just go like 1 week or 2 weeks without it. You can stagger it every other week. Put that money away and invest that, and you'll be surprised. And just look at how much money you save versus what you waste. So I just wanted to add that. And with that said, I wanted to say, as we always do going into the week, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank y'all. This has been 4 Hubbies and a Possible, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Not showing his hand.